Hey y'all, it's Jamila. Excuse me. And I just wanted to hop on really quick to talk about something that some of you all may have struggled with, and that is feeling comfortable letting your guard down. And that can be in a relationship with a man, that can be in a friendship. You know, when you're with your female friends, you may actually struggle to let people in, to allow them to really get to know you. And I just want to talk a little bit about why that's such a problem and a little bit about what you can do about it, okay? So the short answer to why it's such a struggle to let your guard down is that you've been hurt. So, duh, right? It's a protection mechanism. It's a way for you to make sure that you don't get hurt again. So you kind of put up walls, put up barriers, make it really hard for people to get to know you. Sometimes in relationships, especially with men, you will argue about things that don't matter, make a big deal about stuff that is not really the issue because you're afraid to reveal, or be vulnerable and express what the real emotion is that you're feeling and why. So when it comes to letting your guard down, if you ever really want to be able to have that close connection with another person, it's got to be something that you're willing to do. And I am not, by all means, not encouraging you to let your guard down and be open and honest and vulnerable with anyone who has not proven themselves to be trustworthy. And a large part of having people in your life that you can trust has to do with you and the standards and boundaries that you create when it comes to the relationships that you have, whether it be, your romantic relationships with men, whether it be in your female friendships. There have to be boundaries. There have to be standards that you have, things that you will and will not accept, things that you will and will not tolerate in order for you to feel comfortable and safe in a relationship. And that should be the way it is with everyone. Now, here's the thing. If we're talking about relationships with men, what I'm not talking about when I say standards is I'm not talking about this superficial stuff like he needs to drive this type of car or he needs to have this type of income or whatever. Hey there, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how does he treat you? What are his characteristics? What are his qualities? What kind of morals does he have? Is he a man of integrity, etc.? And when it comes to female friends, are they the type that are always talking about people? Are they immersed in drama or gossip constantly? Because please trust and believe, if they're gossiping with you, they'll gossip about you. Okay? Are they, and I'll say, and that's if they're negative, right? If they're just a really negative person that's always dwelling on, and complaining and blah, blah, blah. And another thing about that too, when it comes to your female friends, if you have friends who are always engrossed in drama, who are very negative, it's going to be very hard for you to ever accomplish the things that you want to accomplish because they're not really interested in being your cheerleader. Okay. They actually might have a little bit of jealousy towards you as they see you acquiring things that they wish they could have, or do things they wish they could do but can't figure out how because, they don't have your personality or your confidence or your skills or whatever. And so it's just important, like I said, to have those standards, to have those boundaries, and that's going to allow you to be comfortable when it comes to being in a romantic relationship with a man, having safe friendships with other women. It's so interesting because I had a conversation with hey girl, how you doing, Daniela? I had a conversation with a woman a couple of days ago, and I'll just speak into the type of woman I am. She's like me, birds of a feather flock together. We have these big personalities. We're driven, high powered, high achievers, however you want to define it. And when you're like that, what can happen is when you're around other women who are not that way, they tend to feel like you being you is like an affront to them or something. They take it they basically take it, because what it does is it kind of forces them to have to see that there are qualities maybe that they don't possess that you have, that they wish they did. So whatever, it just opens up like a can of jealousy or envy that you're totally unaware of. And what they'll start to do is try to tear you down in order to make themselves feel better. And so what they'll do is find little ways to poke holes in your integrity, find little ways to find fault with you, do little things to try to sabotage your relationships or your reputation or whatever. And so, you know, like I said, the woman I was talking to, this was basically the situation that she, you know, had encountered. And I told her, I said, hold up, wait a minute. I said, listen to me. You do know you're the stuff, right? Because she's like the queen of sales, right? She can kill it. That's her whole thing. And she's I mean, she taught me how to sell, and she does it in a way that is just so smooth and natural. And I said, people don't know who you are. I was like, these women are looking at you like, I mean, she making six figures is nothing for her. Okay. She can do that in her sleep. And these women are looking at her and judging her about her way of being or whoever she is. And she's like shrinking herself down and feeling bad about herself because of the things that they're saying and doing, trying to tear her down so that they feel better about where they're at. I hope that's making sense. So because the fact of the matter is I just encouraged her and told her it's not your way. You're good. You know, you're awesome. You're not perfect, right? None of us are. We all have things we need to work on. But when it comes to what's really good about us, when it comes to what we excel at and what we're good at, and, you know, being who we are and feeling confident in our own skin. And please understand that confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is fake, false confidence. Okay. So when you're confident and you have an opinion and you have a little volume to your tone, you know, and your personality, that does not mean that you lack humility or that you lack an ability to reveal or be vulnerable or any of those things. Yes, there you go. I love what Daniela said. Exactly. It's true. What other people say about you behind your back is none of your business. Now, in this particular case, they were doing it to her face, you know? So in that case, you kind of have to respond. But yes, absolutely. And so I just want to say all this to say that a lot of times we don't let our guard down. We don't let people close because we've been hurt, because we've been made to feel as if our bigness, and by our bigness, I mean, you know that you're capable of so much. You know that you have this greatness within you, this brewing. And again, it's not arrogance. It's just, if you are like this, you know what I'm talking about. And people who don't have that want to like dim your light or make you smaller so that they feel better rather than be inspired. Be inspired by your light and grow and become better. But and I you know, in talking to her and encouraging her, I told her, I said, oh no, honey, you're not alone. There are a lot of women just like you, just like us, and you know, that are out there. So I told her, I said, start speaking into those challenges that you're having and watch these women start raising their hand and coming forward and wanting to be a part of your tribe and your community. And really, that's what I'm building, even on Facebook in my High Power Healing Facebook group, which you're welcome to join. The link for that is in my Instagram bio. But yeah, because I get it. Why you're not letting your guard down, because you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be misunderstood. You don't want to be judged. You don't want to be looked at a certain way. But here's the thing. And there's kind of two parts to this. One is you can't control what other people think about you. So don't live your life based on that. And number two, when it comes to relationships, like relationships with men, romantic relationships with men, or your female friends, you know, you just need to have standards and boundaries so that the people that you are allowing into your inner circle have your permission to be there and have shown themselves capable of handling the bigness of who you are, and that they love it, they celebrate it, they love your energy, they love being around you because they admire those things about you that they don't possess, just like you admire those things that you don't possess that they do, because everybody does something better than us, right? Everybody has their own gift. So when we can look at other people and admire those gifts and qualities they have and celebrate them, that's the way it should be. So when we're surrounded by people where we're each celebrating all of our different gifts and how we're able to enhance and uplift each other, that's how relationships should be. So if you're trying to shrink yourself to fit into a circle that's just intent on tearing you down in order to make themselves feel better, that's not your tribe. Get a better tribe. Okay? And if you're finding yourself constantly in relationships with men who are not proving themselves to be safe for you to open up emotionally, raise your standards. And those do not include superficial things about his hairstyle, where he works, and the kind of car he drives. These are standards that have to do with his characteristics, his qualities, as they relate to you being the best version of you, which means that's what has to come first. You have to become the best version of you first, which means getting clear on who you are and what you truly desire. And from that, you can create a list of non-negotiable relationship standards by which you can measure the men that come into your life and thereby be able to create a safe environment to where you feel now that you can actually open up and be comfortable and be vulnerable. Okay? So that's the romantic side. The flip side is get a better tribe. Okay? Yes, that's right. She hashtagged it, Daniela. I love it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to hop on and say for you guys today. It's getting close to bedtime, so I got to go in here and put my little kiddos down. But thanks for hopping on with me. If you were watching live or if you're watching the replay, I want to let you know too that I'm doing a free 90-minute workshop in November. It's going to be on November 10th at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're on Pacific time, that's like a lunch, little lovely lunch. And it's called Emotional Mastery, How to Feel Again Without Fear. And so it's really all around this issue of how to let your guard down, how to reconnect to your emotions, right? Because as you know, when you're highly driven, you're that high achiever, you know how to disconnect and get the job done, keep your nose to the grind, win and go and do and be. You know how to do that. But sometimes that's not the best behavior when it comes to being in a relationship where you need to connect to those feelings. But again, it's all about how to do it and feeling safe to do it and how to protect yourself from people who might not be the safest people to open up to and be around. And so anyway, I think you'll really enjoy it. Again, it's Emotional Mastery, Feeling Again Without Fear. The link to register is in my Instagram bio. It's 90 minutes. It's free. And I look forward to seeing you there. And please drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think about this topic of letting your guard down. All right. So you take care. Bye-bye.